I first felt like the call to missions when I was 10. I was just laying in bed and feeling discouraged as a little 10-year-old, and I remember one of the most clear voices I've ever heard from the Lord said, like, you'll go do missions. When I was like 14 or 15, I can't remember exactly when it was, but we went to the Philippines as a youth group. And so that was like my first real exposure to missions. First time I'd been overseas. Like, it was a big thing. And I remember it being like so fulfilling and like such a confirmation, like this is it. Like, this is what the Lord said those years ago. Yeah, that trip was to the trash dump in the Philippines, and we got to just put on like a VBS for the kids, and we built like a little schoolhouse out of bamboo and just do like tasks they needed just to help out. I think after the trips I felt like very filled up, but it was also like filled up the tank, but then it also grew. It was like, oh, I want to do this a lot more. And so I think it was kind of a mix of like, that was exactly what I needed. Those two trips were my first exposure for sure. I ended up doing 1 year of college where I thought I was like going on the path I wanted, but the Lord kind of reminded me like, hey, remember, like that calling wasn't fulfilled with just those two trips. Like, this is a lifelong thing that I've spoken to you. So I felt like I was kind of convicted of feeling like disobedient. And so dropped out and joined YWAM. One of the coolest things I saw in India was such a cool reminder of like, the Lord isn't just in Rapid City, he's also in India's this big church service of people worshiping, and they're all dancing and singing their praises to the Lord, and I couldn't understand a word of what was going on, but it was such like a revelation for me to see like God speaks Hindi too. Like he's speaking to them the same way he speaks to me at home in Rapid City, and it's just so cool to see how big God really is, like just massive. Those opportunities I've had overseas have been just incredibly helpful in my walk with the Lord. I'll use the word like better reception to God when on the missions field, because you're seeing him work and move at like every single day. And it's made like my faith real, like being able to see God physically move in someone. And it's important to, if you feel a calling to missions, it is sometimes to be the missionary, and sometimes it's a call to support missionaries, because it's expensive to travel across all these countries, if it does take you very far abroad. I've been interning with Katie, and she's had, we've called it together kind of a table of all these people from our church body, just to make sure that our missions program is as good as it can be, and that we're focusing on things that need to be addressed and that we're doing them well. This year's Shine offering funds go towards maybe helping a middle or high schooler get to experience their first mission trips and maybe discover a lifelong calling through that, supporting our missionary couple in the Middle East, helping in the Sierra Leone and with that organization that's helping out with the mentally handicapped children, and also translating the Bible into languages that it hasn't been translated into, and reaching unreached people groups across the world. So, and we're faithful to listen to when the Lord is kind of pressing on our hearts to give. I think it's important to remember that those funds are literally going to help translate the Bible into different languages, to help children in Sierra Leone. There's a very physical place you can see your offerings going and the impact of those gifts.